Pacing and leading. This is one of very popularly used technique in behavior modification, especially at a time of developing rapport with the client. Sometimes it is used to create harmony in the group. It is particularly useful for the new person who joins the group. It helps to adjust the person with with other members of that group. So, what is this pacing and leading? Pacing, in fact, involves two processes. One is matching, another is pacing. Matching means whatever is existing there or whatever being practiced there, match with the same. People usually say, when you are in wrong, do as wrong ones do. This is exactly meaning of matching. Match with the existing norms of that particular group. It may be a family group, it may be some team, it may be some organizational staff, like this. Any context you can take, but this is applicable everywhere where a group of people is involved in working. When you're matching with the person, matching with the style of sitting, dressing, talking, and using the beliefs there, other practices, in simple words, you can say the culture of the group. When you become one with the existing norms of that group, then you have meshed with the group. It is called matching. And when you start practicing all those things which you have meshed, then it becomes pacing. It means you are moving with the group. Exactly the way group is moving, and you are also moving, exactly doing all those things, following all those patterns, doing all those practices along with the group. In, in such practice, the newcomer is easily accepted. You take example of some organization. If some new incumbent joins some organization, if you're coming from some university, you have read so beautiful theories and so many things which are written in the book, and you develop some idealistic planning in your mind. I'll do this way, this way, this way, and you join some organization, and all the organizations, they have their own environment, their own context, their own conditions, and the practices which are written in the book are not followed exactly the same way. Rather, they get changed according to the prevailing culture, context, or environment of that particular group. So the new person who has joined that organization, he has two options now. One is you are doing everything wrong, or you're doing many things wrong. They need correction. You become rebellious there. Then you become a terror for the group. You are considered as a fear factor. And second is, you start doing the way the group is doing, the team is doing, the organization is expecting. So you become part of the group. Okay, this is the first part of this matching or pacing, you can call it. Second part is leading. Leading means when you are accepted by the group as a member of the group, as a useful member of the group, useful member of the family or society or team, then your suggestions are also welcomed. Whatever you speak, that is taken in positive manner, in the right spirit, because you are not a terror now. There is no fear associated with your behavior. See the psychology behind it. We all have our own comfort zone. Everybody develops its own self-concept and lives one's own comfort zone. Similarly, every family has its own comfort zone. Every organization has its own comfort zone. That's why I say is a personality of the family, personality of this organization, personality of this group, even the personality of that country means the comfort zone of that country or the team or a group. And if anything is added to the existing things, there is some disturbance, definitely. You can think of a glass of water, you put something in this, then you can feel movement in the water. Then your reaction with the water determines your fate. Either you will change the entire nature of that water or the group in this sense, or you will not be accepted there. I take one example, then I'll move further. One of my students, who is a guidance counselor now, she came to me when she was recently married, and she was having very good relationship with her husband and the family members of the husband before marriage. And everybody was happy to receive her as a member of the family. But what happens when she gets married? Her mother-in-law started seeing some difference in the practices of that girl and the family, especially in terms of the dressing system. She was very modern girl, wearing dresses as per the existing norms. But the mother-in-law was very traditional. She was objecting every time with every dress. Just, this should not be worn. Don't use this, don't use this, don't use this, like this. And she had that problem, and she came to me after 2-3 months of marriage, say 3 months or so. She said, it is very difficult to stay with the family now. My husband is not willing to have another house and stay away from the family, and I cannot continue with the family. Give me some insight. What should I do? She came to me with this question. At that time, she was not my student. I asked her, yours is a love marriage. Definitely, there must be some great content of love, great amount of love, great bound of love. She said, yes. So do some sacrifice for your husband for some time. What sacrifice? She asked. Okay, for 6 months, preferably. And strictly for the first 3 months. Do whatever your mother-in-law wants. Dress according to her choice. And behave exactly the way she wants you to behave in the family. It is only for a few months only. Then definitely we will have some way out. Till then you can do this. He said, okay, for a few months it's not a big issue, I'll do this. And I met her after 2 years in one workshop of guidance counseling. I asked her how the family is going on now. She was very happy to say that even my mother-in-law dresses very, very modern, because I started wearing all the traditional attires as my mother-in-law wanted me. But after a few months, she started comparing me with other girls, other brides in the neighborhood. And she then wanted me to make some changes initially. I said, Mom, you too are not so old. You can also start doing this. And I insisted with her also. And she also started changing her dressing sense, dressing system. And now she wears all the latest things. And I am also allowed to wear whatever the way I want to be in the family. So what happened? Because initially she was not following the existing norms of the family. So it created some disturbance in the family. The comfort zone of the family was disturbed. Similarly, it happens in the companies where you join and become rebellious. The comfort zone of that group is disturbed. But when she made all the changes according to the norm, existing norm of the family, then she was accepted. When she was accepted and accepted for a reasonable long time, then she became integral part of the family and everybody started liking him, liking her. Okay, so at this stage, if the individual start making change in one's own behavior, that is not considered as a fear, as a problem for that group, because that's the accepted member of the family. Same thing happened in this group. So you can use this practice with your client. You can suggest. I have seen the people coming from some organizations where they are finding themselves misfit sometimes, because even the qualification is according to the requirement of the job, but they find themselves misfit because of the expectations of the employer and employee. They are not same, because he is very idealistic and expectations are not of that nature. Okay, so here comes the role. Pacing means match with the existing norms, start practicing all the norms, and bring in the activities which you want to introduce to the group. Once you are accepted, only after that, introduce them, people will start accepting that as well. It will give happiness to the client and even by the group also, it will be received with welcome. So it is very simple, very popular, very useful technique used in the NLP, counseling, therapy, in all these mind influencing tools. So this is what I want to share with this. Thank you.